Alright, Shalom is real. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And this lesson is going to go into a portion of this video I watched with the Alex Jones interview. And hey, you can really get a ton of lessons out of this video, man. And one thing I'm gonna say about this video is hey, he represents us in a way to the fact that when truth comes out, you know, Esau hates it. Therefore, he will persecute you for truth's sakes. All right? And one way he'll persecute you is by defaming your name. All right? And even though no matter how heinous the lies are, people will still believe him. Okay? But that just goes to prove the job that this man played in the earth, because time and time again, he did this to the disciples. Well, he did it first and foremost to Yahweh Shai, to the disciples, all right, and even those that were not necessarily sent for, not necessarily sent forth to preach the gospel, but sent forth to teach of the truth, like this guy Aaron Russo, all right. And one thing I noticed too, when you go into the comment boards, let me see, I don't know if this one goes into it. But this is a pretty good comment too. Going to show you how influential this man Aaron Russo was. It says Aaron Russo, was lucky. I know I'm all over the place, but I wanted to look up the comments to where people were going into how this Aaron Russo was assassinated. And simply because of this comment right here. It says Aaron Russo has the gift of explaining these things in layman's terms, that where the simple general public can really understand the truth of it. This shows us how evil is so well organized and how people are deceived thinking everything is okay, when in reality we all have been deceived, till the lights came on and the curtain pulled back to expose the real puppet masters, Satan worshippers, behind this mass brainwashing. The Bible, God's holy inspired word, warns us of this one world government, a one world leader, the anti-Messiah, the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, that would come and try to deceive the whole world and cause wars and massive death, attempting to lead as many as they can straight to hell and away from God and his plan on salvation, Yahweh Shai. All right? And that's true. Not the fact that there's a hell, but taking the RFID chip and believing in this man's system, you're going to receive damnation. All right? You're going to get burnt alive by ICBM nuclear fire. Okay? This is what leads to a change in action and thoughts and deeds, and become a child of God's light, his truth, written in his word, the Bible. Join the winning side and become a born, all right. I think that's it. That's it. It's just, it's more than every piece of information, except the scriptures, of course. But yeah, man, this person told it all, man. Mark Dilly. All right. So, without further ado, I want to play a portion, maybe like the first 5 minutes, nothing too long. And we're going to go into something very keen he said. All right. And this man, he had to have done something wrong for him to be miraculously or all of a sudden be put to death. All right. So let's go.
You rolling? I'm honored to be interviewed by Alex Jones, a truth seeker, fighting for justice in America.
Now he's charming me. He's getting me all smiley. Aaron, when did you start to think something was wrong in the world, or start to find out about the whole banking cartel and the Federal Reserve System, the New World Order?
Well, Well, that was a progression of events. I've always been a very independent person. Always believed in individuality, and that we were put on this earth to be unique individuals to fulfill our God-given potential, and that the only way to fulfill your potential is to be free, to find out who you are, and to make your errors, to make mistakes. And as I grew up, I began to realize more and more the government was inhibiting me in things that I wanted to do. And what happened, I was very successful in the ladies' lingerie business. I worked for my dad. He had a small undergarment business. And I created the first ladies' bikini panties back in 1963, actually. And then I opened up a nightclub in Chicago called the Electric Theater that opened up the day Martin Luther King was assassinated.
Wow.
All right, and so the city of Chicago was in flames the day my club opened, and nobody came out to the club. And well, what happened was that that was the year of the Democratic Convention in Chicago in '68, and so my club became a hangout for the hippies, you know, and because they wanted to go to Chicago and protest what was going on. And I was having a concert at my club one night to raise money, and the police raided the nightclub, my club, for no reason at all. And I was standing outside in my office overlooking the street, and I saw all these paddy wagons pulling up in front of my club. And I was a 24-year-old kid. You know, I had no experience at all, really. So what are these paddy wagons doing here? And then I saw all these cops getting out of the paddy wagons coming into my club. I said, oh my God, they're raiding me. And so I ran down to the stage, and I got on the stage, and I stopped the band from playing. And I said to the people in the audience, we're being raided, you know, so sit down on the floor, cooperate, and pull out your identification and cooperate with the police. And as I said that, two of the cops from behind threw me onto the floor and grabbed me and started dragging me out of the club. I'm going, you know, victory, victory. You know, I'm playing it for all it was worth at the time. I was a kid, and then I saw the fire department there, and the fire department was dumping garbage cans, the garbage all over the floor. And I thought to myself, well, why are they doing that? You know, very quickly as they were dragging me out, and I didn't quite understand it. So they threw me into the paddy wagon. As I got into the paddy wagon, one of the cops grabbed my testicles from behind and squeezed, and I went into the paddy wagon in gigantic pain. And the next person that came into the paddy wagon, the cop, as he was stepping in, the cops took the billy club, smashed him on the head with it, and just split his skull, you know, for no reason. I mean, there was nothing wrong.
So that was kind of your wake up.
That was my awakening. Like, what is going on? I thought this was America. So I initially blamed it on Chicago and Mayor Daley, thinking it was Chicago. And anyway, it was the headlines of the newspapers the next day. You know, there was my picture in the newspapers, the headlines, Electric Theater short-circuited, it was raided. And in the article, they went ahead and they said that the reason they raided the club was because the fire department came there and saw it was messy, full of garbage, and the hippies started attacking them, which was totally not true.
Those dirty hippies.
That sounds just, hey, who does that sound like? That sounds like us, man. Here it is, Esau puts off that we're killers, with thieves, rapists, and that couldn't be anything far from the truth. And it doesn't even make sense for those that know us. All right? And this is Alex Jones' story, basically, of how he woke up, all right, to the wickedness of this place.
Totally false. You know, it was a complete fabrication.
So they ran a false flag on you. They framed you.
Yeah, of course. You know, and I was in shock. I said, people lie like that? People actually do these things? I couldn't believe it. You know, it was an awakening to me. And I went on television. I told people on television that they lied. Nobody cared.
All right, and it shows you too that this is the time where Esau Edom is really being revealed. All right, he's really showing his hands. He's showing the devil that he really is, man. This man will lie and lie and lie. All right, but even though he's gonna lie, all right, it's our duty to bring out the truth. All right, just as Aaron Russo felt like it was his duty to expose Esau Edom. All right, because I believe this guy's a jig. All right, but hey, it's our duty as sent from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai too. All right, to expose Esau. As written of in Obadiah verse 6, how are the things of Esau Edom searched out? All right, and the Most High gives us the unction from the Holy One to understand the prophecies and marry them with today's events. All right, keenly searching out the things of Esau, who he is, where he comes from, the things that he's done in the past, and the things that he's currently doing. Okay?
Nobody cared what the truth was. It was shocking to me.
Gotta play that again.
And I went on television. I told people on television that they lied. Nobody cared. Nobody cared what the truth was. It was shocking to me.
And that led me to do this lesson, man. Just like thinking, as I said before, really, even though nobody cares what the truth is, we, as it being our job, being sent forth from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, still going to bring it out. We have to bring it out. All right? Because at Judgment Day, everything is going to be justified. All right? Everybody's judgment is going to get justified. And, hey, that's where our jobs come in. All right? To tell everybody, to show everybody the truth. And as he told Ezekiel, all right, whether they hear or forbear, still tell them my word. Okay? He's talking about Israel. All right? But, hey, even these other nations, man. All right? They're going to learn who they are. They're going to learn the truth. All right? So everything that was hid, as it is also written, all right? Everything that's hid shall come to the light. Okay?
And then a week or 2 weeks later, I forget exactly what it was, two cops come to see me, a lieutenant and a sergeant, a captain and a sergeant. And they said, Mr. Russo, we're sorry if you got hurt that night at the club. And
all right, yeah, so I'm going to just leave it at that. All right, and, hey, man. All right, they did it to Yahushua. All right, they did it to his men. They did it to his disciples back then, and they're doing it to his disciples now. All right, so let's look at Esau's track record, the real anti-Semitic. All right, because, hey, he has a war on terror. When we think of a war on terror, you think of those of the Arab and the Middle Eastern states. All right, which some of the kids of Shem, which he calls as anti-Semitic. All right, but yet he goes around, all right, and paints, the so-called Arabs, the so-called African American, the so-called Hispanic, Native American as terrorists. That's literally anti-Shemite. He's anti-Shemitic. Because, all right, there's no Sem in the Bible. It's Shem. All right, and Shem had, all right, he had kids, man. All right, some of them being Aram. If I can remember correctly, let me just see. The children of Shem were Elam, the so-called East Indians, Asher, the so-called Assyrians, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. Aram would be the so-called Syrians, all right, which is Esau has been over there in Syria forever, man. Waging war on them. In addition to daughters, Abraham, patriarch, the Hebrews, and Arabs was one of the descendants of Arphaxad. There you go. And I didn't even expect that to be up there, man. All right. And the war on terror is the so-called war in Arab states. All right. Which in his interview, he goes into that as well. How 9/11 was staged. So Esau is really the anti-Semitic. But he paints us to be so, man. And people just believe it. Just as they believe, this guy Aaron Russo, and the stuff that they put about him in the newspaper at that time. All right, so this is St. John chapter 15 and verse 20. It says, remember the word that I said unto you. The servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted, which that word to persecute means to make, to run, or flee, put to flight, drive away, to run swiftly in order to catch a person or thing, to run after, to press on, figuratively, of one who in a race runs swiftly to reach the goal, to pursue. Okay? So Esau has pursued us, all right, since we was in the womb, man. You know, what do you tell what do you say? What do you say, after basically Jacob supplanted Isaac for the blessing? Now are the days of my father at hand. Now the days of my brother at hand, man. Then he proceeded, hey, let's grab Salakia. From day one, Esau Edom has been pursuing us. All right. Genesis 27 and 40. And Esau hated Jacob. Now Esau and Jacob, all right, which Jacob represents Israel, all right, which represents who? The Hebrew Israelites. So Jacob's name was changed to Israel after he fought the angel. And it says Esau hated Jacob, okay, which we just read that what the Hebrews were descendants of Arphaxad, one of the sons of Abraham. All right. And it says Esau hated Jacob, which that would in fact name Esau as a Shemite. All right. But the scriptures also talks about how I think it's the Songs of Solomon, how his mother's brethren, his brethren hated him. Esau hated us, man. And it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee, to pursue. All right. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise, flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran. And hey, man, Esau has been purposing to kill us all this time, man. The brother Kalab even goes into it when you have certain code words known as what religious cleansing or Christian cleansing. Best believe, all right, those are Israelites, man, for the most part. All right, because Esau has purpose to kill us, man. All right, Esau has purpose to kill us because he's mad. All right, because hey, we got the blessings, man, and now that his rulership is up, all right, that's becoming more evident. All right, one way we see that's more evident is Jake is continuing to multiply while Esau's birth rates are dwindling. All right, so this is John chapter 15 verse 20. It says, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted or pursued me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. Okay, so they persecuted Yahushua, they're going to persecute us. And why did they persecute Yahushua? Because he was telling it like it was, man. He was telling them, look, I'm the Son of God. The Most High sent me to tell you, all right, to change your ways, all right, to believe in him, all right. And he was exposing Esau Edom, all right, exposing them, their plans that they were going to do. He always spoke about 70 AD, he always spoke, against all the wickedness that was being done that he saw in the Roman Empire, just as we do, man. So because what? he was like let me see. I think that was in. There's a. Let's see. Lord said they hated because the scriptures even say they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. See, there's actually scripture on that truth. I can't remember, but Yahweh Shai spoke on that, man. Persecute me. Let me see. Persecute. This is a good one as well. Luke 11:49. It says, therefore also said the wisdom of God, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute for truth's sakes. All right. It says that the blood of all the prophets which were set from the foundation of the world may be required of this generation. You know, so that's another thing. Esau, the more he, goes about slandering and slaying, all right, the more of a judgment he's going to have to pay for. That the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world may be required of this generation, from the blood of Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, which perished between the altar and the temple. Verily I say unto you, it shall be required of this generation. And that's really through the Spirit, man. The water Yahweh was shy, man. Showing me these precepts, man. Linking it up right all together perfectly, man. So there it is, man. Yahweh Shai said it himself, man. They're going to persecute you, all right, because they persecuted me. Yahweh Shai said what? Why they persecute him? Because he testified that their works were evil, all right? And just as we do, all right? And as I said, those who were not necessarily sent to preach the gospel testify of the evil wickedness of this place. They're being persecuted. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, all right? Yahweh Shai namesake represent what? Truth. Because they know not him that sent me. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not sinned. But now they have no cloak for their sins. And that's right, going into what I was saying before about how no matter if they persecute or believe us or not, the judgment day is coming. All right? And they're not going to have no cloak. The Most High is going to be justified in that which he will do. All right? That's why the scripture says in Jeremiah 16, because many won't believe. Yahweh already put a curse on them, man. Isaiah 6:6 tells us that, man. All right? That, see ye indeed but perceive not. Hear ye indeed but understand not. All right? So most people are not going to understand, but we have to tell them anyway. All right? So they have no cloak for their iniquities. It says, he that hateth me hateth my Father also. If I have not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Father. Okay? But this cometh to pass, that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law, they hated me without a cause. All right, so they hate us without a cause, man. They hate us for truth's sake. We're going to show you that they hate the truth. All right, now, let's see. And I just had it queued up. How did All right, so this is an article entitled on Christianity.com going into how the apostles died. So it says and reports and legends abound, and they are not always reliable. But it is safe to say that the apostles went far and wide as heralds of the message of the risen Hamashiach. All right, they were sent forth, and an early legend says they cast lots and divided up the world to determine who would go where, so all could hear about Yahushua. All right, and they didn't even know, man. The Spirit appointed them to go where the Spirit wanted them to go. He's preaching it to Israel. They suffered greatly for their faith, and in most cases met violent deaths on account of their bold witness. Okay. So, hey, Esau just showing us, all right, who we are, man. And that's how far out the Most High is, man. It is Esau's going to do what he has to do, all right. Which the Lord, he could easily just come down and tell us that, all right. This so-called white man, he's a, what I'm saying, this person is that person, and made it plain for us. But nah, man, the Most High speaks through what? Through actions. All right, and through Esau putting us to death, seeking to put us to death, showing us who we are, man, the true worshipers of Yahushua. Okay, so it says Peter and Paul, both martyred in Rome about 66 A.D. During the persecution under Emperor Nero, Paul was beheaded. Peter was crucified upside down at his request, since he did not feel he was worthy to die the same manner as his Lord. Andrew went to the land of man-eaters in what is now the Soviet Union. Hamashiachians, followers of Yahushua, they acclaimed him as the first to bring the gospel to their land. He always preached in Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey, and in Greece, where he is said to have been crucified. Thomas was probably most active in the area east of Syria. Tradition has him preaching as far east as India, where the ancient Marthoma Christians revere him as their founder, going to prove too that our people were scattered throughout all four corners of the earth, like it says in Isaiah 11. All right, in which coincidentally, well, not coincidentally, but makes sense of Revelation 7 and 9. Of how 12,000 of each tribe, which was scattered throughout all four corners of the earth, are going to be saved. They claim that he died there when pierced through the spears of 4 soldiers. Philip possibly had a powerful ministry in Carthage in North Africa and then in Asia Minor, where he converted the wife of a Roman proconsul. In retaliation, the proconsul had Philip arrested and cruelly put to death. All right, just for preaching his word, just for telling the truth. Matthew, the tax collector and writer of a gospel minister in Persia and Ethiopia, some of the oldest reports say he was martyred, while others say he was stabbed to death in Ethiopia. Bartholomew had widespread missionary travels and attributed to him, by tradition, to India with Thomas back to Armenia, and also Ethiopia and southern Arabia. And again, going into quoting the brother Kalab and Kemp, if you look up these places where certain genocides were. All right, it just makes sense, man. All right, Christian genocides, because what? They have persecuted us. All right, the apostles, and really Israel, as we went into in Genesis 27 chapter, until this very day. And also to Ethiopia and southern Arabia, there are various accounts of how he met his death as a martyr for the gospel. All right, so the point was made, you know, you can go all out really talking about how the apostles were martyred. All right, which is, hey, what we going to do to what Esau is doing to us to this very day. But, you know, we have an unction from the Holy One to preach this word. All right, the scripture say, let me just grab that actually. Let me see. Psalm 66:4. All right. Let me see. I think it's 60:4. Salaki. Psalm 60:4. It says, "Thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee." Which, when you look up the word, let's look up the word banner actually. Psalm 60:4. Thou hast given a banner, which that word banner is H5251 Nasa or Nas. All right, it's probably Nasa. It says something lifted up, a standard, a signal pole, ensign, a banner, a sign, a sail, a standard. Okay, so no matter what, the Most High has given what? Us a standard, those that fear him, that it may be displayed because of the truth. And because of the truth, what? We will be persecuted. Some of us. All right. All right. This is Isaiah going into what that banner is. Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. Okay. Isaiah 13:1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner, all right, upon the high mountains. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. All right, again, the Most High have given unction to his men to preach his word. All right, those that fear him, from Isaiah to Jeremiah to Zephaniah. All right, hey, he clearly gave an unction to Jonah. You know, he had the large fish spit him out and Nineveh to do the work, man. You know, this is Isaiah chapter 49 verse 1. It says, "Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken ye people from far. Yahweh have called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother have he made mention of my name. And he have made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand have he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver have he hid me, and said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with Yahweh, and my work with my power." All right, so the Most High have called us, and no matter what these people do, whether they believe or not, you know, our job remains the same. Okay, you know, so hey man, with that, you know, point made, you know, Esau is going to persecute us, which shows you who he is. All right, and those that consistently going out there and preaching the truth in the face of danger. All right, as it is written of in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, the righteous stand in great boldness against the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. You know, but the Lord is making account of our labors, and the Lord is going to come back and bust your ass. But at the same time, well, prior to that, like it says in 2 Thessalonians, Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you have to be revealed, man. 2 Thessalonians 2:6. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. So Esau will have to have done all his heinous acts, all right, against the sons of Shem, chiefly the Hebrews, all right, in which case it would give us legions to speak out against him. For the mystery of iniquity, just as in ancient provinces, man. Isaiah was in Babylon, all right. You had Esdras, you had Nehemiah, all right, speaking Daniel, Babylon, Persia, Greece, Rome, all right. So we were all throughout the different kingdoms. So why would it change now, man? Prophesying of his man's downfall and showing you and holding the light to him, man. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So with that, Lord willing, you Akim will edify. Shalom to the elect.